Why is working longer a bad retirement plan? Because it's not. But let's talk about this a little bit deeper. So why is working longer a bad retirement plan? I think that's kind of a funny thing, because truth is, working longer isn't retirement, is it? It is a plan, it does help, but unfortunately the sad truth is more and more people are falling into this. And even mutual fund money managers are telling you you should work longer into your 70s, not your 60s, your 70s, so then you can finally have that retirement. I think that's bad, I think that sucks, and I think there's an answer to get out of it, and here's how. All right, so let's talk about this retirement plan, like working longer as part of your retirement plan. This is the fail-safe for financial advisors. This is what financial advisors recommend when, although you've saved just like they told you to do, but it just wasn't enough, that's the retirement plan. This is what happened with my dad. Now, I wasn't my dad's financial advisor in the beginning, right? I became a financial advisor, but he had already had decades of financial advice, whether it's from the media, whether it's from financial advisors, his 401k plan administrator, which is not really a financial advisor, but you know what I mean. He had plenty of people giving him advice and tips along the way. Well, in 2005, my dad, after I'd already been a financial advisor for almost 4 years at this point, he said, "Hey, when are you going to advise me?" And I sat down at his table there. I went back home to, I grew up near Portland, Oregon. Shout out to you Oregonians. And I sat at the table there with him, and as we're looking at his finances, first time I ever saw his finances in my life, found out he was 100% debt-free, paid off his mortgage in 18 years. So he paid it off early. He was all good there. He'd stuffed money in his 401k, got the match and everything. This was like Dave Ramsey's dream come true in embodied, but my dad's like 15 years older, so really my dad probably taught Dave Ramsey everything he knows. And so anyways, so I'm like looking at his numbers, I'm like, okay, here they are. He says, "Chris, I'm 61 years old. I've been working my tail off. The stress is literally killing me. I've already had heart attacks, you know this. I want out. I want to be able to retire. What do I need to do?" And I looked at all his finances. I said, "Dad, here's the deal. If you want to retire today at 61 years old, you don't have Social Security yet, so you better hope you die in about 5 or 6 years, because that's when you're going to run out of money." "All right, Chris, that's not the advice I was hoping to get from you." Nice little positive, optimistic boy of mine. I was like, "Well, I'm just shooting straight. Like, I'm being honest. I mean, you've got like $300,000, but if you spend $30,000 a year, that's 6 years, it's gone. And hopefully you make interest in the meantime, but what if the market goes down? I don't know if it will. So we're looking at guaranteed things, but the guaranteed things, I'm like, oh, that could work, but it's not enough still." And then we looked at things like, well, maybe you cash out money from your house. Well, we can't cash out money and put in mutual funds. That's illegal. Like, you signed a disclaimer saying you're not going to use debt to put in mutual funds, so that's not an option. He's like, "Well, what do I do?" I'm like, "I don't know. You did everything right. Work longer." That was his retirement plan. And he did. He worked into his 70s until he was forced by health reasons to retire. So that's the problem, guys, is that that's not a viable option. He did everything right. Like, I remember somebody even asked me on a podcast, "What did he do wrong?" Nothing. He did it all right. He was just saving in the wrong places. He was saving in the traditional mutual funds and in 401ks. And just so you know, the match only makes up for the bad performance of those funds. I've actually run numbers with real numbers with Fidelity, for example, with some of their funds, comparing it to the market. And even with a 100% match, the market still does about the same or beats the 401k with a match. So if you're getting a 401k with a match right now, congratulations, you probably won't even get there. You probably won't even be able to retire like most people. This is why, by the way, that out of 45 million accounts with Fidelity between IRAs and 401ks, only about 950,000, about 2% of them have over $1 million. And these are people that have been saving for decades. Even the average Generation Xer, Gen Xer like myself, right, that's been saving for at least 15 years, only has just under $600,000. That's the average person. And just so you know, Gen Xers are between the mid-40s, now going to the early, soon-to-be mid-60s. They're already at retirement age, and it's still not enough, because if you pull off 3% on $600,000 a year, you're living on $18,000 a year or $1,500 a month. It's not enough. So what's the option? You work longer. That's become the stupid default answer for advice that's been bad forever. And you've been buying it hook, line, and sinker, just like I did as a financial advisor. It's not your fault. It's just the fact that everybody else has been telling you to do the same thing, and they seem like they're great, and you see people retire, but what they don't tell you is that people aren't going to let you into the inner recesses of their brain saying, "I'm desperate right now. I need that Social Security check. I need every little dollar I can get. In fact, I'm worried I'm going to outlive my money." And that's what every single client had ever said when I was a financial advisor. After decades of advice, there's like, what if I outlive it? Here's the other problem. Let's just say you do just say, I'm going to work longer. There's a rising trend, especially among millennials, that you don't want to retire per se. You want to still keep working. You still want to do something useful and contributing to society. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. But you just don't want to be relying on the money, right? You want to be work optional, where you work because you want to, not because you have to. The only way to do that, guys, is have enough passive income to do so. So you might keep working, but the thing is, our days aren't guaranteed. I can tell you from my own personal experience, I've got 8 kids, right? My kids are now between the ages of 9 and 21. And over that period of time, I can't tell you, especially when there were times were tough, I would keep telling them, hey, we'll do that trip another day. Hey, we'll do Disneyland later. And all it does is give them a bunch of broken promises and create a legacy saying, oh, parents don't live up to their promises. What kind of legacy am I leaving behind for them? What do I want? Do I want them to do the same thing to their kids? No. So yeah, we've got some kids that have been to Hawaii like 4 or 5 times. Do you know I didn't even went to Hawaii for the first time until I was 40? I finally did it on an anniversary trip. Some of my kids have been to Hawaii more times than I did. Way more times. Some have been there almost as many times as I have now. I've been there like 5 times now or 6 times. Some have been there like 4 times. So understand that I love the fact that I can create something new. So when you keep saying, I'm going to do it later, I'm going to delay, postpone, someday, when you say someday, you're possibly meaning never. Is that what you really want? Is that what you want to keep saying over and over? Is that the example you want to leave for your kids so they do the same thing to their kids? Then you're playing cats in the cradle and you're bawling your eyes out because you're like, I did the cats in the cradle. Now when I want to spend time with my kids, they got their own life and they don't have time for me or their own kids. No, you want that life now. So working longer is not a good option. I like it if you work longer because it's work optional. Look at me. Like I was able to retire twice by the time I'm 39 years old. Notice I'm technically working right here, right now in front of you in this camera on this video, right? Why am I doing that? Because this is what I want to do. I love teaching. Teaching gives me life. Every time I try to retire and I worked less than like 5-10 hours a week, I got depressed. I would get totally depressed. I would lose purpose. I lose that fire in my life. Working at least 10 to 20 hours a week, not 40, that burns me out. So I lose the fire if I work less than 10 hours, burn out if I work more than 40. But if I find that little sweet spot there, then and doing especially what I love, and especially when I know I can bless your life too, that's what's awesome. So working longer, not a good option. The better option is how do I create passive income now? And you can do that by getting your money out of prison. Stop trying to pay off that house early like my dad did. Stop trying to stuff the 401ks like my dad did as well. Stop doing that like so many Americans have done, and then it doesn't meet the needs they have and they work longer. The definition of sanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Stop doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results, just proving me right. Instead, do something that proves you right, proves your family right, puts them first, not you and your ego. Instead, start doing something that works for you, which is passive income. Get your money out of those places and then get it out into things like alternative investments, things that might be backed by real assets like real estate. By the way, if you want to see how that's possible, even how much passive income you create in the next 12 months, not the next 12 decades, or in 20, 30, 40 years from now, but right now, go to moneyripples.com. There's a passive income calculator. Click on that, fill it out. It'll actually tell you pretty accurately how much passive income you could create in the next 12 months. Check that out today.